Okay, today I'm going to do with namespaces in in C++. Yes. So namespace namespace is a feature that provides a way to group related identifiers such as variables, classes, functions, and under a single name. Yes. So these classes and functions and variables are related, and if they are related, it means like they probably perform a specific function. They are within the same scope. They are within the same. They are within the same function and they do the same work. So since they are related and they are doing related stuff, like they are related to each other. You can group them into a namespace instead of separating them actually. So to do a namespace, you use the namespace keyword. Yes, the namespace keyword, which is spelled NAMESPACE. Yeah, namespace. Then the name that you want to give it. Then you open a curly bracket. Then you and close it, and then within it the open and close curly brackets you put the members in it. Yes, you with the members you define the data type, then you put it, um, its name there. If it's a function, you put the return type, then the function name, the parenthesis, and then the curly bracket, then put in your code. Yes. So um So if you want, so it actually goes like this. Let me do it below here at the down here. Something like the namespace keyword, then the name that you want to give your namespace, then open and close curly brackets, then enter. In between, then you put your data type if it is int or character.
Why no finish?
uh, If it's int, character, or um, void or anything, you type it and then you give the name. So you give the name to the member. So let's say you do something like, let me comment this. We wrote something like just slash type and data data type or return type. Then you bring the member one with the function. You do the function. You just a variable to do it the way you declare the variables. Yes. So then the member name, that's all. So that's how this how you actually go about the namespaces. To access a namespace, if you want to use a namespace anywhere in your code, you use you type the name for the namespace. So right now the name for my namespace is name. So if I want to access it, I'll use name and then whatever property if it's a function, you call the function. Actually, it's a double column. If it's a function, you then call the function name. If it's a variable, you mention the variable name or the member name. Yeah, the member that you want to access. So you put in the member. Remember, yeah. So this is how you actually access the members in the namespace. Yes, and this is how you define the namespace. This is how you the syntax for namespace, and this is how you access its members. Okay. So let's do a bit of some code. Well, let me comment this out. Yes, and delete this one. So let's say okay. So namespace. Let me say students. Okay. Then the data type that you give it. Okay, let's say maybe you want to declare function here. So maybe let's use a void. Then function name. Then the curly braces and the parentheses and the curly braces. Then whatever will go into the function, you put it in there. So in my namespace, I'm going to actually see out certain something there. So maybe I'll output I is two. So when you come here, you want to call it out. You actually call it out in the int main function, which is the one here that I've commented on. So let me bring it down and then uncomment comment. So now type the name you type the name of the namespace, which is student, and then you type whatever you want to call out here, which is the function name. So this is how you access members from a namespace. Okay. Okay. So this is how you access a namespace in C++ programming. Okay, there are no errors. Okay. Okay. What if the namespace is not included here? Maybe somewhere else in a different file or something. So the same way we do using namespace std over here, you include, you type the same thing using namespace, then the namespace wherever you store it, you you add the name over there. So in case you want to include this namespace which is actually somewhere else into our file here, we'll type using namespace student. If only this namespace does, it's not in this, it's not being used here but it's located somewhere else. Yes, that's when you use this using namespace student. But right now it's over here, so whenever I want to call it out, you actually if you want to call out this function, this is how you do it. So you just imagine when not having, just imagine if you were not having using namespace std, you would have been calling out, you have been using this c out to the std. So let's say it wasn't over here. The same way we use the student with the function name, the same way we also use std with the two colons over here, the two yeah, colons, and then c out. That's how it will actually be without this line being highlighted here. So that's about namespace. We have types of namespace. We have the inbuilt namespace which we already have. Example is the std. And then we have the inline namespace, which is the one here, for example, the one I'm having here, for example. And then we have so the inline namespace is a namespace where its members are accessible directly without using the namespace name. So it is already here and we access it directly without using the namespace, using namespace. And the std was accessed using the namespace, using namespace. So that means it is inbuilt, it is already in the system. When you install the gcc compile, you actually got it in the system. And then with the anonymous does not have a name, does not have, the namespace does not have a name like the one we have here, as in namespace then student. The anonymous one only starts with namespace. So it's something like this. This is how an anonymous namespace is. It's anonymous. You don't know the name that is being assigned to it. Yes. So how do you access anonymous namespace? Let's say we declared a variable here, maybe something like int age is equal to 21. So if you want to access this inside your int main, you only type cout do the cout then h. Yeah. So let me try something. So let's try and run this code here. So we have the design 21. I'm a student. So with the anonymous namespace, you don't need the name of the namespace for you to access it. You just output it. But the risk is what if you're having different namespaces to the same variable name? Then you're going to be having issues. So then we have the exception handling. You know, exception handling is based on keeping the normal functionality of the program separate from error handling. So in case maybe you have an error, in case maybe you may have an error somewhere, you use the exception handling to give the an exception to that error when it occurs. So the basic idea is that errors occurring in one particular part of the program are reported to another part of the program known as the calling environment. So with the exception handling, you do a try and then catch. You try a certain code and then you catch the error with the exception, and then it should output a specific um, kind of error message when these exceptions occur or these errors occur in your code. So you use the keywords try and then catch in the try and catch in exception handling. So inside the try, you throw the code that maybe you think maybe might have the error. So in it you type try. Inside the try you type true, then the value, the if the let me say the variable that you think there will be an error, then you type it, and then you throw that variable actually, and then you catch the exception, the error, and then output a certain message. So let's take this for instance. um so let's try something like int min, then int the age is equal to 21. Then use a try keyword. So you do try this. So let's say maybe x, let's say if x times 2 is maybe not equal to let's say 42. So it's not equal to 42. Let me open parenthesis here and then close it there. If x minus, okay, let me say minus 2. Okay, if, okay, h mm, times 2 is not equal to 42, and then you should do something like we throw -1. Oh, so sorry, throw, yes. So you should add throw -1 and catch the integer e, yeah, as our L, and then it should output cout exception cut, then output the L. Yeah, so right now when you multiply the 21 by this one, you get 2. Yeah, you get 42. So nothing will happen. Let's try to change it and see. Yes. So it is not true. So there will be an error then. Under normal circumstances, in the Boolean form, this is going to be false. And this is going to be true because 2 times 4 is not equal to 42. So when you bring it to, when you treat it as a Boolean, the Boolean value that you have here is true. So since it is true, it's going to throw -1 error to this side, and it will be caught by this one, and then it will be outputted that there's an error going to occur here. So there should be an exception or something. Yes. So that's how we do exception handlings in C++. So let's try something else. Okay, let's do header file. Yes. Um, Header files are files that contain like codes, like function, data type definitions, and other things that are being used in C++. So an example of that header file is this: the IO stream is a header file. The di- the main difference is that the IO stream is already in a system. It's already defined in a system. So when you are calling out, when you are including the IO stream, you just use the less than and the greater than after to it. But when it is a user defined or programmers defined a header file, you actually you replace this less than and greater than with a quote, and then you add the extension to the header file here. Header files are being stored in the extension .h, so you add it to it. So to include a header file, you use hash include, then iostream. So I hash include, then the name of the header file with the extension. But when it is system defined, you don't really need the extensions here actually. Yes. So it's just like what they call it, the eh, it's just like the namespace. So it's like you store the namespace somewhere else, and then you import it. Maybe it can also contain the namespace. So you include it, and then you use it inside your code. Yeah. So we have some header files which are user defined. We have iostream, we have cmat, we have string, we have vector, we have we have fstream, we have, there are a lot of them out there. Yes, which you can actually use in C++. So just a file, header files. I guess it's a file that contains these functions and um, other stuff that you can just import the namespaces and stuff, which you import or include it into your code whilst typing. So thank you very much.